Confident and masculine, I step into the stadium. Eyes wide, time flies, life like palladium. Value in the moments that be fleeting in our face and then they gone. Just before you reach your goal, they call you back home. Alone on the... Hey, what's going on, folks? This is your brother Robert Jenkins, and I know y'all know what time it is. Yep, that's right. It is time to focus, LBK. Welcome to the Focus LBK show. This is our inaugural episode from our brand new studios over here at the RCRC. I think I'm going to call it Moonmine Studios, Moonmine Productions. I don't know. We still getting the name together, and we're still getting some of the set dressing together. But as you can see, we got it well underway. The lighting looks good. We got a little bit of the set dressing done. It's going to be a versatile space. We've got another filming space right over here that's going to be in the future. When we get that ready, that's going to be where I actually do the solo show from. However, this space right here is going to have two of these chairs. Got a little table right here. I don't know if y'all can see, but this is going to be when I do the guests episodes. Speaking of which, in the future, the guest episodes are going to be paid content, but we're going to try to get some of the best guests that we can, local here in Lubbock and even all around the United States and all around the world. We got some pretty big things in store. However, before we get into all that, let us get into what's going on. As I mentioned, today's episode is episode number 47. We're going to tell y'all what's going on. We're going to talk about some things that happened this past weekend when we were out and about, and we're going to get into the opinion segment of the show, and we're going to talk about the power and purpose of public drag show events. Yeah, a little bit controversial there, but we're going to keep it sensible. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how we roll. We like facts and stats and sensible approaches. Anyway, before we get all into that, let us go over what's going on. This right here is coming up on October 5th, and it is the Life Together 2024 Couples Workshop. And it is put on by, of course, I believe it's put on by that brother Ricky Sherfield. He always doing something. And if I got that wrong, because it looked like my picture here is kind of cut off a little bit. I think it's Ricky Sherfield though. But yeah, it don't matter. Tell you what, October 5th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the YWCA 6501 University Avenue is Life Together 2024 Couples Workshop. 40% off, valid through September 10th. So October 5th is when this thing goes down. And if you register now, you can get it for $60 per couple. I think me and lovely wife are definitely thinking about going to this event. It seems like a worthwhile thing. I ain't gonna lie. Me and lovely wife relationship is tight. We squared away. We blessed to have each other, and it's we all good for the most part. I mean, we ain't perfect, but we all good for the most part, right? Nobody's perfect. So I don't necessarily think that we need to do this. However, we want to do it, A, to support, and B, because you always can learn something. You know what I'm saying? So we thinking about doing this. $60 per couple if you register now, 40% off. That's valid up until September 10th. $60 per couple. And it is October 5th, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Oh, man, this is an all-day thing. And I wonder, that must be a weekend. Let me tell you about who going to be talking, though. It's going to be Dr. Gaston Rougeau Burns, licensed psychologist. It's going to be Madison Bishop, licensed MFT. It's going to be Dr. Dane Eggleston, licensed MFT. Dr. Megan Thoen, licensed psychologist. Bethany Luna, licensed marriage and family therapist. And Shane Walker, the CEO and founder of Cube Money. Special offer, pre-register for a chance to win a $1,000 cruise. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you got a weak relationship that you want to make stronger, if you got a strong relationship that you want to keep strong, whatever you got, you can probably benefit from something like this. This is October 5th, Life Together 2024 Couples Workshop. All right, that's one thing. Oh, wait. Now, of course, after I done talked about it, I found the better picture of it that has all the information on it. Let me see. Topics is going to be conflict resolution, fighting fairly, active listening, communication skills, and financial success. I like financial success, and I'm sure y'all do too. Let's see. What else we got here? Special offers on that. It said pre-register for a chance to win a $1,000 cruise. Also attend for a free date night gift card giveaway, and attend for a chance to win a spa package or hotel stay. Word. No, it looks like it's put on by Cube Money, I guess. 100 Black Men of West Texas. Oh, see, of course, presented by 100 Black Men of West Texas. So this time it wasn't that brother Ricky Sherfield. It's the 100 Black Men of West Texas. Now, I will tell you something about me and lovely wife. We at the age and the stage in our relationship where things is real easy and smooth for us because we've been together so long. We pretty much got each other down pat. We know each other. We know what each other expects. We got each other trained, so to speak. That's a real thing, by the way. You got to have your spouse trained. I'm trained. My lovely wife is trained. We train to do the things that make the relationship work and function smoothly. You train your significant other. I don't know, maybe trained ain't the right word. It may sound a little bit harsh, but I mean, that's what it is if you really want to know the truth. But anyway, we still going to this thing. Most likely we're going to investigate it anyway. See if we off that day and stuff like that. But it looked cool. Life Together 2024 Couples Workshop. Anyway, moving on. Got some other stuff. Now, this is that brother Ricky Sherfield. This is the 2024 Black Business Expo, Stronger Together. That is this freaking Friday and Saturday. Y'all know how we say it. This Friday and Saturday. 2024 Black Business Expo, Stronger Together Networking Mixer, August 2nd, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the East Lubbock Art House. August 3rd is going to be the expo itself. And this time it's not going to be at May Simmons. It's going to be at the Lubbock Adult Activity Center from 12 to 4 p.m. 12 to 4 p.m. So that's the 2024 Black Business Expo, Stronger Together Networking Mixer, August 2nd at the East Lubbock Art House, 7 to 8:30. And August 3rd, the expo itself, 12 to 4 at the Lubbock Adult Activity Center. Rolling through these ads real quick. What's going on? National Night Out. Let me see. Can I turn this one sideways and blow it up? I say blow it up. This is the National Night Out, Tuesday, August 6, 2024, from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. up there at Patterson Branch Library. Shout out to Teresa Wilson and the crew up there making it do what it do. Every time you say crew, you got to say do what it do because it rhymes. Trust me, I know these things. I'm a poet and I know it. National Night Out. Man, y'all excuse me. Is my background? No, I was going to say, are my plants in the background? Are they centered? Anyway, I'm looking at this monitor right here, and you probably don't want to have a monitor when you're trying to talk to the people. Anyway, National Night Out, Tuesday, August 6, 2024, 4:30 to 6:30 p. at the Patterson Branch Library. It says, enjoy an evening filled with food, music, community resources, and games. The free family-friendly night. Family-friendly night. This is what I'm talking about. Get to know your neighbors and community. Coming up next. See, this that brother Ricky Sherfield too. Real Deal Loves the Kids up at Tropical Icy on August 12th from 8 to 9 p.m. You're going to be able to do Real Deal Happy Hour, free shaved ice for the kids. I say for the kids. It don't say for everybody. It say free shaved ice for the kids. That's the Real Deal Happy Hour, August 12th from 8 to 9 at Tropical Icy over there at 1701 East Broadway. Real Deal Happy Hour, Tropical Icy. Right over there across from Quicko. Y'all know where it's at. August 12th, 8 to 9 p.m. Tropical Icy. Coming up next, we got the Back to School Bash, 2024 citywide Back to School Bash. I was up there at the library, and these cats was stuffing backpacks like a mug for this event right here. So I just want y'all to know that City of Lubbock staff and all other kind of people probably involved behind the scenes that I don't know about is working hard for the cause. I'm talking about real hard too. They had, I was finna say billions of backpacks. Okay, it wasn't billions of backpacks, but they had more backpacks than the law allowed. They had a whole table full of them, a whole hallway full of several tables stacked up high backpacks. And she said, the lady I was talking to said that was only part of them. They had way more than that in this other room over here. And I say, I don't know how y'all, I think she said they had 5,000 backpacks or something like that. Back to school bash. See, these backpacks are filled with goodies, right? This going to be at the Lubbock Memorial Civic Center. And it's going to be Saturday, August 3rd, this Saturday, August 3rd, 2 to 6 p.m. We might stop in and take some pics. I don't know. Immunizations, food vendors. They're going to have fun games, school supplies, backpacks, community resources, haircuts, and mo. Every time you say mo, you can't say more, you got to say mo. You know why? Because you got to say fo, and mo rhyme with fo. So, anyway. Taking that poet thing overboard. I know. I'm sorry, my bad. But I tell you what, everything at this joint is free. It say everything is free. You can even get a free city bus pass to attend the event. They're going to have everything free, backpacks, immunization, food. This was blowing my mind. The food vendors going to be free. Because when you say vend, that means sell. But it say food vendors, everything is free. Everything is free. Food vendors, fun games, school supplies, everything is free, and get a free city bus pass. Sign up for the Lubbock Public Library summer reading program and receive a free city bus pass good until August 13th. Wow. Texas Tech and the city of Lubbock working together to make it do what it do. For real. All right, now this right here is a little more serious tip. I was just talking to Mr. Charles Curry over here at O.C. Curry Funeral Home over here on 19th Street, 19th and MLK. Y'all know where it's at. And we were talking about this very thing, the importance of having a will in the family. So to that end, Legal Aid of Northwest Texas, Mr. Adam Pirtle and his crew, they're going to be doing a free workshop on wills, knowing what to do before a loved one dies. And it's going to be Thursday, August 1st. That's tomorrow. No, that's day. What's the day? Yeah, that's tomorrow. August 1st, 2024, 11 a.m. at the Lubbock County Law Library, which is at 916 Main Street on the 3rd floor. That is wills, knowing what to do before a loved one dies, a free workshop presented by Legal Aid of Northwest Texas, Thursday, August 1st, 2024, 11 a.m., Lubbock County Law Library, 916 Main Street on the 3rd floor. What else do we have? Oh, I think that is everything that I have. Now, this past weekend, we had 2 back-to-back events. First of all, on Friday, what was that? I guess that was Friday the 27th? 26th? Oh, man. I'm terrible with dates, and now y'all got me looking at calendars on the air. Yeah, it was Friday the 26th. We had the community wellness event, mental health and wellness, that was put on by Focus RMC. Shout out to Natalie Miller. That's my sister-in-law, in case y'all didn't know. She had several guest speakers up there, and I bet you I have this event somewhere. I could pull it up, but I do want to say that we learned quite a bit, man. We were over there. Yeah, Dr. Janice Henderson, she was breaking it down about what she call them did she call them rage rooms or something like that? Basically, spaces you go to decompress. She broke that down. Dr. Rougeau was up there. You had Jasmine, young lady by the name of Jasmine, Just Jazz, I think she go by. Man, we'll have a recap video on that coming up, and y'all should peep it out. We've been up here trying to get this studio together, so we've fallen behind on our editing chores. However, we're going to catch back up because we got to keep y'all informed. We got to stay abreast of everything that's going on in the community. But that was a really good event. And the next day, the brother Ricky Gaines from the Returning Citizens Association put on another, basically it's a round table discussion with various returning citizens and those affected by the penal system. They had basically a group session. And it's important to note, I think, that it was a non-clinical group session. However, he was saying that the next time they have it, it's going to be clinical because they're going to have an actual doctor, I think a psychologist or a counselor of some sort there. I forget that gentleman's name, but they're going to be there. So if you are in need of, so what it was, man, it was 2 back-to-back mental health and wellness events. One was focused on the community in general. One was focused on returning citizens, those citizens returning from imprisonment or incarceration into the wider society out here with us, with the rest of us citizens. So we had those two health and wellness and mental health and wellness events. Man, they were just both, man, these cats really, what they are is, they're unsung, I don't want to say heroes, but they're unsung value bringers. People who are out there not making a lot of money, not doing anything for the money, but doing things to help do what the community needs done. Do those things that the community needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? So I applaud them cats out there. I give them the poetry clap or whatever it is, the poetry snap, mainly because the mic in the way, I can't clap right. But man, they are doing stellar work out there. So shout out to that brother Ricky Gaines at the Returning Citizens Association, and shout out to Natalie Miller at Focus RMC Ministries. Yeah, so they had real good events. Peep we're going to put some pictures down here in the meantime. I think we got a few pictures from the events. Yeah, we're going to put some pictures down here so y'all can just get a feel for what it was like before we actually put up the recap video. All right, LBK, it's time to get into it. In this section, we're going to talk a little bit about something that's, let's just say it's a little spicy and a little controversial. And of course, I'm talking about the recent flaps that we've seen all over the world regarding drag queens, the whole concept of being in drag. And if you're like me and you try to avoid watching TV, then you might have just learned that the Olympics opening ceremony in Paris featured content that much of the world's population would consider blasphemous, in addition to just being in poor taste. In this country, hand-selected presidential candidate Kamala Harris, I don't know how you say her name, made a point of launching her campaign from the set of RuPaul's Drag Race. Also, our very own Lubbock City Council made what appears to be an ill-considered move regarding funding for one of the LBK's main cultural events. And of course, I'm talking about the First Friday Art Trail. Now, judging by reactions to some of these events, it seems like a lot of people are getting tired of the LGBT agenda, specifically the whole drag queen part of it. Now, this LGBT group, this community, has said for 30 years that they just want to love who they love and be accepted for who they are. But to some people, those pleas are starting to ring hollow. I mean, it kind of seems like this once marginalized community has arrived. Many people would say it's time for the special treatment and consideration to end. Just treat them like everybody else. And it's because some people perceive them to be flaunting power everywhere, from the world stage to the local library. And that doesn't seem like the work of a marginalized community. To some people, it feels like an ascendant political power is rubbing it in the face of those whose acceptance enabled them to rise in the first place. Drag queens, whose dual male-female symbology is deeply associated with pagan deities, read to small children at story hours all across the nation. Some people say that this is done on purpose to attract young people into that lifestyle and philosophy, to get them early, if you know what I'm saying. Perhaps they have a point. You don't hear too much about drag queens at old folks' homes. I wonder, do any drag queens volunteer their time and talent at the Lubbock State Assisted Living Facility? I don't know. But drag queen story time seems particularly insidious to at least half the population. For one thing, story time represents a powerful moment when adults not only get to enter, but also help form the mystical world that our children inhabit. And it's a time when the doors of perception are wide open. When I was in third grade, I remember story time was magical. I was entranced. I remember one teacher used to read to us out of a book by Roald Dahl. It was a story about a giant who visited a small child at night and I think took him back to some magical world. I still remember how delectable that time was. I literally savor the memory of that time. I remember sitting on that floor in front of my third grade teacher down in Bryan, Texas. I went down there for a while and man, I can't remember that teacher's name, but I remember sitting on the floor and it was just a magical atmosphere. Well, this is where many people have a problem. Drag queens seem intent on exposing children to their lifestyle at an age and in settings where the children are particularly susceptible to outside influences. Children may, during these highly open, relaxed fantasy world of story time, they might more easily accept whatever message is being delivered to them, even when it has nothing to do with the story they're reading or that's being read aloud. This seems like the very definition of proselytizing. However, the portion of the country that thinks this is okay would likely throw a fit if a group of straight white fundamentalist Christian male pastors began a campaign to read to children all across the nation in a similar manner. I wonder why that is. You know, I was thinking back to the time when I was in the military. And there's something that's been widely recognized for decades, if not hundreds of years. And that is when you have people, a group of people kind of held captive and you put them in certain situations, you can open up those doors of perceptions really widely. And that helps the things that you're teaching them sink deeply into their psyche. That's why in the military, one of the things they do when you exercise and when you're running, you sing jodies. We call them jodies. Mama, mama, can't you see what the Air Force done for me? That's a clean one. We used to sing some ones that I ain't going to say on air. All about killing them and blowing them up and letting God sort them out. But we would sing those things while we were running. Why? Because you get physically tired. You get exhausted. And you're hearing and then repeating short, jingoistic, propagandistic statements. You're helping that message sink deeply into your psyche. And when I think about drag queen story times, I wonder if some group somewhere hasn't thought about that concept and realized that, like I said, when you're sitting on the floor with the lights down and an adult is reading a story to you and you're a child and it's a wonderful, imaginative story, does that open your mind as well? Seems like it would. I'm almost certain there's something to that. Then again, just a lowly podcast host. What do I know? I bet y'all out there have some feelings on this matter too. So let me know down here in the comments. Do you think I'm missing the mark here? Do you think people have a right to feel a certain kind of way about this? Do you think that if somebody takes umbrage or disagrees with this kind of display, that they are just bigots? Do you think there could be anything else behind feeling like that? Not just that they're bigots or homophobic or whatever, transphobic. Do you think there is any other valid complaint if you don't like this kind of event? I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. All we do here is talk about the news. You know what I'm saying? Report what's going on. So this show is, of course, made much better by informed, interactive viewers. So hit me up down here in the comments. And before we jet, we want to say thank y'all. We want to let you know that there's going to be more content coming from this location. I got several guests that are lined up. I'm not even going to give you a preview of who they are, but we got several guests that are lined up. I'm be talking about a plethora of interesting topics, and we're going to be working on this set and this set over here. So expect to see a new intro. Expect to see more guests. Many of those guests is going to be paid content. So we would ask y'all to please consider getting a $5 a month subscription. We're going to begin producing that mad, delicious content that you love. It's going to be in-depth interviews. It's going to be all kind of good stuff. So Share this article, share this podcast. Catch us on Apple Podcasts. We need to get up on Spotify. I'm going to get us up on there. That's another thing. We're trying to take it to the next level in case y'all haven't noticed. That's what we're trying to do because we're taking this seriously, man. We want to represent and we want to elevate the level of conversation in the community here in the LBK on all sides, north, south, east, and west. And on that note, I think it's appropriate for us to wish you all the best and to say peace. We will catch y'all this time next Wednesday. What they say on Thriller, see you next Wednesday. Y'all take it easy, all right? Peace. Confident and masculine, I step into the stadium. Eyes wide, time flies, life like palladium. Value in the moments that be fleeting in our face and then they gone. Just before you reach your goal, they call you back home. Alone on the